As the morning sun shines over coastal Maryland, Bird Conservation Coordinator Kim Aplenalp guides our boat across the water, observing the birds overhead.
There is nowhere for water birds to nest anymore. They are getting washed out, destroyed by sea level rise and erosion.
That brings us here to a last-ditch effort to save one endangered bird species, the common tern.
It's sort of build an island, terns will come is our motto.
This artificial island sits in the middle of the bay, where the endangered terns now come to nest.
We put out decoys, we put out habitats, so that is chick houses, grass, fake artificial grass.
It's made up of 18 separate raft units, and these raft units are wooden framed with dock floats underneath, and the dock floats have wheels on so that the units can be wheeled up and down public boat ramps.
David Curson is with Audubon Mid-Atlantic. He says the floating island came to be after a similar one showed success in Toronto, Canada. So Audubon and several Maryland agencies joined together to create one here.
We've had storms come through with 55-mile-an-hour winds, and our remote camera system that we have set up on the island just shows the thing flexing, and birds can have nests and young on the island in a tropical storm, and they survive. It works very well, and it could very easily be applied to other sites around America's coasts.
In the artificial island's first year, 23 nesting pairs used it. But the following year, the number rose, with 155 pairs. This year, the number is nearly 300.
By putting in one island, managed to recover 25% of what we had almost 35 years ago.
David Brinker is with the Maryland Department of Natural Resources. He's studied water birds for decades and spearheaded the artificial island idea.
We're in an extinction crisis right now. We could put in more islands, but the islands are sort of a stopgap approach here. They're fairly expensive to build and cost about $100,000 to build one of these things. If you get 10 years out of it, that's a pretty good return on your investment, but it's not the long-term solution that's needed.
A little teeny tiny baby.
So what is the long-term solution?
We need to restore the islands so that they can sustain themselves and the birds can sustain themselves. It's a lot of effort, it's a lot of money. It's money well spent, though, because part of that is that we need to have every species on the planet that is here. I mean, everything is here for a reason, and they all balance each other out. We've learned that time and time and time again.
A lesson these birds are teaching once again. Maya Rodriguez, Scripps News, off the coast of Ocean City, Maryland.